Here's something nobody wants to admit. Watching motivational videos might actually be making you less productive. I know, that sounds insane. But stay with me for just 60 seconds, because what I'm about to show you completely changed how I operate, and it'll probably change how you think about motivation forever. See, most of us think we're preparing to take action when we watch those fire videos. The epic music, the slow-motion athletes, the billionaires whispering about sacrifice at 4 a.m. We feel ready. We feel fired up. But here's the dirty little secret. Your brain doesn't know the difference between watching someone do something and actually doing it yourself. You get the feeling without the result. And over time, you get addicted to the feeling instead of the work. So today, we're breaking that cycle. 4 steps, no fluff. Let's go. The problem: why motivation is a lie. Okay, real talk. Think about the last time you had a massive motivation spike. Maybe it was a video. Maybe it was a conversation. Maybe it was New Year's Eve and you were writing goals in a new journal with a really nice pen. You felt unstoppable. And then, what happened 3 days later? Yeah, me too. Here's why. Motivation is an emotion, and emotions, by design, are temporary. They're supposed to be. Your brain isn't built to sustain peak excitement any more than your body is built to sprint for 3 hours straight. So when people say, "I'll start when I feel motivated," they're basically saying, "I'll start when the weather's perfect," which means they're never really starting. There's actually a name for this cycle in psychology. It's sometimes called motivational procrastination. You use the act of seeking motivation as a substitute for the work itself. You're not lazy. That's the cruel part. Your brain is genuinely working hard. It's just working hard to feel ready instead of to be ready. And YouTube, bless it, is basically a motivation casino. Every video is designed to give you that next hit, that next rush of, okay, this time I'm really going to do it. The algorithm doesn't care if you change your life. It cares if you click the next video. So what do you actually do instead? That's where the 4 steps come in. And the first one is going to sound almost insultingly simple, but don't let that fool you.
Build the floor, not the ceiling. Step 1. Stop chasing peaks. Build a floor. Most people try to replicate their best days. That day when everything clicked, you got 3 hours of deep work done, crushed your goals, felt like a superhuman. They try to engineer that every single day and then feel like failures when they can't. But here's the reframe. Instead of asking, "How do I have my best day?" start asking, "What's the worst acceptable day I'll allow myself to have?" Write that down somewhere. Seriously. Your floor. The non-negotiable baseline. Maybe it's 30 minutes of focused work. Maybe it's one important task completed. Maybe it's just showing up and opening the laptop. Whatever it is, that floor is sacred. You hit it on your worst days, your sick days, your "I got 3 hours of sleep and everything is terrible" days. Because here's what happens when you build a floor instead of chasing a ceiling. Your average goes up, consistently, quietly, over time. No fireworks required.
Step 2. Use systems, not willpower. Willpower is a resource. It depletes. Every decision you make, even tiny ones, drains a little bit of it. That's why decision fatigue is real. That's why brilliant people wear the same outfit every day. Not because they're weird, because they're protecting their mental energy for things that matter. So here's what you do. You design your environment and your day so that the right actions are the easy actions. You don't rely on feeling like it. You pre-decide. What time are you working? Pre-decide. Where are you working? Pre-decide. What's the first task? Pre-decide. The night before. When you sit down to work and there's already a clear task waiting for you, your brain doesn't have to negotiate. The decision's already made. You just execute. That removes an enormous amount of friction. And friction, not laziness, is usually what stops us. But, okay, even with good systems, there are days when you sit down and just stall. Which brings us to step 3. And this one's honestly kind of weird.
Step 3. Use the start ritual to trick your brain. Here's something neuroscience actually backs up. Starting is the hardest part. Not because we're weak, but because our brains treat uncertain tasks as mild threats. There's something called the Zeigarnik effect, which basically says your brain hates unfinished tasks and will mentally nag you until they're done. But it can't nag you about a task you haven't started yet, because to your brain, it doesn't exist yet. So the trick is deceptively simple. You make starting stupid easy. You say, I'm just going to work for 5 minutes. Not 2 hours, not until it's done. 5 minutes. You sit down, you open the thing, and you set a timer. And 9 times out of 10, you keep going. Because once you've started, your brain shifts from avoidance mode to completion mode. The Zeigarnik effect kicks in, and suddenly your brain wants to finish. The resistance was never about the work. It was about the starting. Here's the other thing. Pair your work sessions with a consistent anchor. Same playlist, same desk setup, same drink. Doesn't matter what it is. Your brain is a pattern machine, and when you repeat a pattern enough times, it starts to associate that setup with that mental state. Eventually, putting on your work playlist will start to feel like pulling a trigger. Pavlov figured this out with dogs. Now you get to use it on yourself.
Step 4. Replace the scroll with the debrief. This is the one that ties everything together. Instead of ending your day by watching motivational content to gear up for tomorrow, end your day by debriefing the day you just had. 3 questions. Seriously, just 3. What did I actually do today? What stopped me or slowed me down? What's the one thing I'll do first tomorrow? That's it. Takes 5 minutes. But what it does is massive. It closes the loop on the day, which means your brain isn't quietly running background processes all night trying to remember what you forgot. It gives you a concrete picture of your actual progress, which is genuinely more motivating than any video because it's yours. And it gives you a runway for tomorrow, so you wake up knowing exactly what you're doing. Over time, this debrief becomes your real motivation engine, not someone else's story, your own. You start to see patterns. You see the days you crushed it and trace them back to what you did differently. You see the days you stalled and identify the exact friction point. You become a scientist of your own productivity. And that compounds in a way that no motivational binge ever could.
The payoff. So let's bring this home. Here's what we actually covered today. The reason you feel unmotivated isn't a character flaw. It's a design flaw in how you've been approaching the problem. You've been outsourcing your drive to external sources that aren't built to sustain you. They're built to keep you watching. The 4-step system: build a floor, design your systems, use a start ritual, and debrief instead of scroll. It's not glamorous. It doesn't have a cinematic soundtrack. But it works because it's built around how your brain actually functions, not how we wish it functioned. Real motivation isn't a feeling you chase. It's a result you build, brick by boring brick, until one day you look back and realize you've created something that used to feel impossible. And the wildest part? You won't be able to pinpoint the exact moment it happened, because it didn't happen in a single moment. It happened in the small, consistent, unsexy decisions you made every single day. That's the system. That's the shift.
If this landed for you, I want to know. Drop a comment with the one step you're going to actually implement this week. Not all of them. Pick one. The floor, the system, the start ritual, or the debrief. Just one, and write it down below. And if you want more of this, the real, practical, no-fluff stuff that actually moves the needle, hit subscribe, because that's exactly what this channel is about. Now close the tab. Go do the thing. You already know what it is.